Hello, everyone, and welcome to another stream. Hopefully, you're having as good as a Sunday as it can be. So today, I was going to show a little bit more of some of the work I did last night, just around kind of this chemical plant area, and we might just be playing with a little bit of a mechanic that I've implemented this morning for one of the missions that you're going to have to do in here. And yeah, so a couple of the things that I've done is just to, clean up the area a little bit, removed, and there's still some things to be cleaned up around here. It's just these things just kind of hanging out like that. Um, but kind of the entry that's going to be in the factory in there, um, and just cleaned up a little bit some of these, these tanker trucks here. Of course, there's still the connections that need to be done to the road. But like I said, I was saying, the one thing that I wanted to show because it's kind of a fun mechanic that I think I might have encountered it in another game. I can't recall which one, but it's kind of a forklift mechanic. So yeah, let me show you what I currently have. There we go. Four. I was kind of thinking it's just named weirdly, but yeah. So um, there's a little forklift here that you'll have to stack a few pallets using it. And let's jump into game. Let me see, where's the start? Player start. And what I wanted to do for the stream is kind of just play around with the forklift and actually get it to, set up the physics for some of these pallets and see if we can work it out so that the forklift can actually like pick up the pallet and just stack them. So we'll see how that's going to turn out. But let me see where my start. This one, oh, it's over there. Let me bring it a little closer to here. I think it might have been, this was a little bit more of an open area. Let's just move them over there. There we go. All right, let's jump into game. I'll show you what how the thing operates at the moment. It's it's a little funny because I'm still playing around with the throttle curve, trying to get that to um, to behave more realistically. Because right now uh, it's like the throttle of a race car with the physics of a of a forklift. So there's some kind of funny things happening as well. So we'll see how that goes. And hey, Helion, welcome. I actually had to refresh my browser because I couldn't see anything in the chat, YouTube. But yeah, so let's take a look at how this behaves. Just gonna wait for a little bit to for the actors to be loaded, so it performs a little bit better than 8 frames per second. Come on. And another thing that I have done is because I was kind of getting really annoyed with that you ran out of memory error thing. That's due to um, DirectX 12, probably combined with my video card being old and the drivers. Oh, and another thing. So I've upgraded the my video card to the latest driver because previously I had those crashes that happened last week in a stream, and I also was irritated by those, so I reverted to an older driver. But then I thought, yesterday, let's try and see if they actually pushed another driver out, and lo and behold, they did. Not sure if they figured out there's like a ton of issues going on, but so let's jump into this. All right, so there we go. We have the forklift. Right now, it's still very basic. It doesn't have like the hands on the wheel like the other car does, but it does have the functionality. So kind of just driving it around. Um, and yeah, the player character for whatever reason just sits in one place. And so let me see if I can like turn around and maybe not. I'm gonna try and hide it for now. Hey, Atlantica, welcome. Okay, so then once you press the right mouse button, the forklift goes down, or um, the ladle. I'm not sure what you call that thing. And if you press the left mouse button, it goes up. So what I was hoping to do is I was hoping to use this, and let me see. Does the It seems to be, yeah. So that's the thing with the player. It knows that it's in the vehicle, so it tries to reach out for the the points on the steering wheel, but there are no points, so that's why we're seeing the hands. So I'm just gonna hide the NPC, the NPC, the main character once it's in the vehicle. Just at least for now, so we don't see him. And let me go back into my forklift. And where is that? Let's see where it is. I'm not sure why it's today. Again, it might be due to trying to update the drivers, which is, to me at least, it's always a bad idea for apparently. But I don't know why Unreal is working really slow. Uh, so I think I might, in the end, just revert to whatever the ancient driver that 1070 came with, because it's just it seems like this is not the first time that NVIDIA drivers have been bad for me, at least. So I'm hoping it didn't crash anything, because I'm literally just trying to close some tabs right now, and that's how long it took, which has never happened that way. So I'm thinking this driver is also bad. Yeah, so see, I've tried to like close these tabs, and this was not. It didn't take that long with the old driver that I had yesterday, literally yesterday. But welcome to the world of drivers. Oh yay, finally. So let me try doing the hiding the player real quick. Give me 1 second here. Trying to figure out where that one is. All right, let's give that another shot. I just wanted to make sure that the the character is not visible while inside the forklift. So that way if we're gonna drive around with the pallets, it's not gonna um, it's not gonna overlap our vision, our field of vision. Another thing that I've noticed is, so I've switched back to um, this, DirectX 11 from yesterday being on 12. It it seems to not perform as good. Um, like the performance doesn't seem to be, at least in the engine in the editor, it doesn't seem to be as good as DirectX 12. There was that annoying error, which I can't find any kind of consistent um, thing of what causes it. Apparently, it's not people with 3080s are getting it. So I think it might be like an engine thing or a 5.2 thing, but not entirely sure. Okay, so the character is still there. I thought that that I hit it. Let me try it one more time. 1 second. So that way, at least, like I said, we're not getting like the hands overlapping with. Just gonna try and set visibility for the actor. All right, let's try this again. See if this works. That still didn't work. What the heck is going on? I'm gonna try it a little bit more of a, it's not so specific, just trying to get the player character this time. Set actor hidden in game. All right, let's try this one more time. And coming from having experienced like the way the vehicles were set up in Unreal Engine 4 and going to 5, 5 is a whole different beast. Like it is so many more settings and it's extremely more complex than 4 was. Like and I get it. I wish there was like a kind of a simple way to set it up and then a more complex way to set it up. And this guy is still in here. Why is that? Let's see. I actually had setting it kind of one of them was getting the player character and setting it to hidden, and the other one was actually getting the base character, which is the actual class of it, and setting it to hidden, but with a flag false. So I think it was hiding it and then unhiding it in the same um, in the same call. So let me see if If we might get lucky this time. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so we're not, at least we're not getting the guy in there, and we can see a little bit better. We might want to move the camera up a little bit. Let me see. I'm wondering if I've tried doing some of these changes at, yeah, I guess that was not possible to do it at one time. But it's cool that with animations you can do changes. You can make changes at runtime, which is pretty cool. But when it comes to actual inside of the blueprint, I get it. You can't really change that too easily. So now let me try and position the camera and a little bit better, maybe like that. Once the player is going to be in, as you were able to see, and even with this one, we'll be able to control, you know, yaw and pitch. All right, so I think that should be fine. Let's give it a try with some palettes to set up the physics for one of the palettes and see if we can like actually pick them up. And I think this one might have something in there. Let's go in this level and we'll try and edit one of these like uh, barrels or something to see how the physics are set up for the or the collisions are set up for this. So let's take a look at the simple collision, which right now is just a box, or not a box, but well, yeah, it is a box, but let's try and adjust it so that it's something like that, just so that that way the forks, whatever you call that thing that goes up and down, can go underneath it here. But then when it sets on the ground, let's try and set it up for these ends over here. We'll see how that works. Because it's also a question of when you start stacking them, how are they gonna uh, fall on top of each other? All right, so let's set it that way, and then I'm just gonna move it to about here so we can get to it a little easier. The other thing is, so right now I believe this one is, probably want to set these up as like corner points. So if you grab it from a different side, you should still be able to pick it up. So there's those. And let's use these ones just like that. Okay. So with this, let's set it to simulate physics and let's give it a try. I've played with it a little bit a while ago with a different asset, and I can't recall if this is all that it needs to be done as far as just simulate physics and enable gravity. But we'll see how it works with I'm not I can't recall if I've actually set up the physics, the collisions for the arms, for like the actual forklift um, thing that goes up and down. Thingamabob. So let's see. All right, so it looks like it has physics, at least um, this stuff. Let's see if, oh man, come on, just load already. I really need to cut back on how many actors this thing is trying to load because as you can see, it takes quite a lot of time in the beginning, and now it's just as it, kind of baseline. But oh, there we go. Okay, perfect. So I think so. Those have collisions. I'm gonna try and like set it to the bottom there. I think I might have messed it up a little bit. But hey, hey, success. We managed to pick this thing up. And now, oh, come on. I went a little too crazy with it. So I am wondering if, well, this could be maybe, might be a little bit better if it's a little somewhat, you know, scripted, so to speak. Like for example, first these would, you wouldn't be able to like grab them from whatever side you want to. And with the collisions, I think, not sure if it's gonna be too small of a collision and how that's gonna behave. But let me give that a shot. At least to try and not have it come off of the forklift arms. So have one over here and one over here. And I'm thinking if you were to grab it from the other side, let me try and position one on this end as well. And we'll do one in the middle and one over here. We'll actually follow, I'm kind of wondering at this point if setting the collision for this one to be using its complex collision, so basically the entirety of the asset would actually help. But I just wanted to try it with the kind of the collision that I'm adding here to see if any of it works. So let's save it like that. The other thing is I'm not entirely sure how it behaves depending on the weight, like the mass of the object. If it's like a heavier mass, how would that act? Right now, this one's set, I think the engine might set it automatically based on its size. It's set to like 450 kilograms. Not sure if that's um, something that works better with, or what's the deal with that. All right, so let's get into the vehicle. And yeah, you'll see like it's the suspension is kind of a little crazy for it, but all right, so let's lower. I'm guessing I could make this one so that they get lowered a little quicker. Damn, that's actually kind of slow, even with the current frame rate. All right, so I'm gonna try and go all the way to the bottom, maybe lift it up a little bit. All right, so that's going pretty good. There we go. Oh, oh, come on. That's the one thing that I think once it gets into a place, I think it might be better to just kind of not rely on physics and just attach it to a bone. That way, at least, when you move around with it, it's not gonna, it's kind of gonna be locked to the forklift and not do kind of this. Uh, Now with the physics, they're pretty much holding it in place, so it's easier. It doesn't really slide around as bad. But if I was to attach it, it might be it might work out a little bit better. So because you can see like once you go around and a thing there. Let's see. I'm gonna try and kind of set it. Yeah, see, there you go. That's exactly what I was talking about. I went a little too crazy with where I was trying to place this. Let's see if I can flip it. Maybe that's probably not that easy. Almost. Come on. And yeah, the like I said, the torque on the forklift is pretty big, so it's got some power to it. Like it can do a wheelie, which is kind of funny, I guess. Oh man, that's sad. So let me show you what I meant with the wheelie, kind of moving the camera outside of the forklift. Come on. So let's see. I'm just gonna select this real quick and move the camera out. All right. And I had this issue with it where I had the movement implemented, kind of the back and forward, and as well as turning the wheels. But it was odd that the back and forward wasn't working. So I realized that you need um, a throttle curve when you set up the vehicle. If you just go with the default from the throttle, it's not going to do anything, which kind of was kind of bad. So yeah, there you go. That was kind of a hard break, and now it's like, opa, there it is. So I've implemented like a little bit of a flip mechanism. So if you do manage to flip the vehicle, like going into like that, you can press F and it would you would be able to flip it back into um, back on its wheels. So let's see if we try and pick up this thing again. I need to set up probably a bigger multiplier for those for the um, for the fork in the front. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is kind of pick this up if I can, hopefully, and then actually set it on something. But again, with the throttle, it's a little bit it's a little bit violent, so that's it kind of it's a little hard to control. Uh, uh, oh yeah, there you go. So I was kind of like just yanking it out from underneath, and that's another one, another thing that might might that I'm probably going to do is the location where these are going to be placed needs to know that okay, something has been placed here, so I'm going to be removing the physics from it, and that way you're not going to be you're not going to be messing it with the forklift and basically completing that step of your mission. Okay, that first pallet is placed, then the second pallet, third, fourth, however many, to complete that little mission that you're gonna have. Yeah, so that was a little bit of a fun mechanic to add and to like I said, it was a little bit of a discovery. If anybody's interested in what went into this, yeah, can let me know, and I can show around a little bit for this forklift. All right. Well, so as I was saying yesterday, I got around to setting up a little bit of a of a way to for these trucks to look like they kind of flow into this area of the factory. Them coming in through here, going into this refueling station and exiting out. So, yeah, that's something that I did yesterday. But like I said, there is some issues around here where the this terrain, there's not really, well, since this is going to get removed either way, this doesn't really match the rest of this section. So that's something that I plan on changing. So we'll probably do that today. And just to kind of connect everything with the rest of this, because see, like this one doesn't really fit in so well. So let's go in and I'll edit this level, and we'll remove some of the pavement and just reuse what we used throughout here as well. And that should cut out a lot of these extra actors that we don't really need. So this level, I've already cut out a bunch of it out, but this one still has like 13 of these. So let's go ahead and remove them and also remove that and this one as well. This one actually seems to be of a different name. So let's get rid of these as well. And we'll also get rid of these. And those. All right, so some of that, all that got cleaned up. Since we're here, I'm also gonna remove these pipes and these corners. And if you're wondering, I'm pressing Shift E to select everything of the same type, basically. So if you were to look in here, it's this one here, select matching all classes. So for example, if I want to select everything that's of this type of pipe, I can do Shift E and it's going to grab everything. And the same for these, and the same for this little bit. Also these ones in here, and these ones. And then I'm using some of these, so I'm just gonna select these individually because I use these for kind of the lighting around the little barracks. So yeah, for example, this stuff here, I might go and grab it like this. And just use it over here. Delete some of these decals. And I'm not making use of them anyways. There you go. That cut back on a couple of dozens of actors. That area is cleaner. Let's also get these ones. And I'm going to be removing this one, but I'm thinking of actually replacing it with an existing asset that I have. So I'm kind of keeping it here more than anything for reference. So but in the meantime, I might as well just select it and move it out of the way. But where is it? It's here. Yeah, so for example, this piece, I don't really want it over here. So I'm just going to move it out of the way for now. There we go. Also just wanted to remove these pieces. There we go. That's better. All right, well, let's commit these. Actually, I wanted to remove these postage signs there. All right, this tanker truck is like right in the cut by the door, but that should be fine. I might be able to work with it. And actually, just open that door a little wider. Let's remove some of these decal, like separating lines there. There we go. Cool, a little bit of cleanup. So now let's go back into this level because this one holds kind of all the pavement and such. And I'll just crack this door a little further open for this truck here. All right, and now gonna probably remove those at the end. We'll see. But in the meantime, I'm just gonna grab a couple of these big asphalt pieces and move them this way. I try and match them so that they're kind of on the about where the road is for the level. So by that I mean, let me show you, kind of about to here. So there we go. And I can remove these road meshes here and these ones as well. So there we go. I'm gonna need to make this a little tighter here, this section, so that there's kind of this road coming in. But for now, let's finish off the kind of the flooring, so to speak. And let's see if we can place them a little bit better on the grid. Now we'll just duplicate these real quick. There we go. And I think that matches. Good. Another interesting thing is, especially with vehicles, like I guess the flatter the surface, the easier it is to handle physics, right? So that previous asphalt surface was kind of wavy, and I believe that might be also one of the reasons why this one was bobbing around so much. The little forklift was just bouncing up and down. All right, there we go, and let's bring these and have them join into the road. Where's the gizmo? There it is. Oh shoot, yeah, I needed to set these, and they were on the grid, but the scale was not a perfect 0.5 here, and I think that's why they didn't like snap to the grid as best as I was hoping for them to. So just a little quick cleanup that I'm gonna need to do here. My apologies. Gonna start, I guess, in that corner. Got a little bit ahead of myself here. All right, so now this piece should be 0.5 or 0.5 by 1. And let's try and actually put it on the grid. that should be fine there. So now let's try and duplicate this and see how they snap together. There we go, much better. And then on this way, there. Yeah, having some proper scaling helps immensely, especially when if you use the grid. Just sometimes hard to find the gizmo depending on uh, which one you have selected. There we go. Perfect. Now this one goes into the road and it actually connects in here pretty well. So I could actually place another set of these. Also, another thing that I didn't really get from the developer of this package is um, with with roads like this, so it's all uh, a complete set of big textures. So I'm guessing he's using them for the straight section as well. But yeah, that was also a little bit odd. So let's see. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. There's a complete set of textures just for this. This one has from the looks of it, um, vertex paint, so which is cool. But yeah, so you would get one of these textures that I think I've actually rescaled them down to be 2K. But yeah, that was interesting to me to see that on a road surface. But I get it in a way because it's easier to do like corners than um, like I was doing in my case when I was doing like street corners, right? So there we go. But trying to cut back on the amount of actors used, and of course, I'm going to be relying on some decals and potentially, kind of sculpting the terrain. And I can show you what I mean real quick. Let me just like remove some of these from here. And I actually think let's just go ahead and remove all these almost 800 actors. Let's get rid of those. I'll decide whether I want to place some like we've done yesterday with the scatter tool to place some borders around it, or I might just kind of vary between the sidewalk type of border and you know maybe like just a concrete edge type border. So there we go. Let's remove this as well. But yeah, I do like having those because they do add a little bit more variety. Right now it's looking pretty flat, so of course, some of this area could look better with some of those pavers along with kind of the sidewalk thing. All right, so I was saying that to add a little bit of variety, let me actually bring in uh, some of these borders here, just to create that entrance slash corner around the building. And I'm gonna use, I think I've already have one of the corners worked out, or at least almost worked out. This is not, it still needs to do a little bit of work, but I'm gonna use these right in here. So let's see, maybe to about there. So this one can go to about here. There we go. And I'm gonna stop it right there. That's looking pretty good. It's blending in. So I have, because with my materials, I also have some pixel depth offset, so they blend in a little bit better as well. Let me set this up here. All right, perfect. And I'm going to use one of these pieces as the pavement in here. We'll see how that looks. I'm not entirely sure what the tiling is on this particular asset. And for that, let's use the old paver material. Yeah, there we go. That works. That works pretty good, I think. It's got a decent tile. Okay, that's good. And let me see if I can. Actually, I'll keep it like this. All right, let's put the same thing on the other side of the road. And I think I might have done a better job at. Let's see where we are. So on this corner, I think I might have uh, placed these together a little bit better. So let's grab this. And let me see, where was that street corner right here? There we go. It's pretty good. Quite happy with that. As I was mentioning, I'm also using this IA scatter tool for uh, placing these damaged decals on the ground. So let me show you. what I mean by that. I think this should be a good spline. So what I have instead of a mesh, actually you need to add the mesh and then select the blueprint here. And let me see if I remember what I called it. So I just want to do a quick save. So this one was something decal or, oh yeah, concrete patch decal. I think that's what I named it. Concrete patch decal. There we go. And this one should be a blueprint actor. All right, so there we go. Replacing some of these, you know, damage uh, things around here. I might want to just extend this out a little bit. Do something like that. There we go. So that can create a little bit of a add some variety into the street. And as I was saying, let's commit the changes to this level. And let's play a little bit with the terrain. Let's go ahead and sculpt it. And so usually I like to use flatten a lot. A little bit of a smaller scale, a little bit bigger fall off, and maybe let's pick here. We'll see how high that is. If it's too high, we'll adjust. That might be a little too high. But first, let's bring it close because right now that's why it caused that hard line. It's the terrain is quite a little bit lower than this map. So brought it a little higher. And now I wanted to try something here. We'll see how this looks. I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna work out okay-ish. All right, not too terrible, but yeah, it does add that little too hard of a line, and I don't really think I like it very much. Let me try something here with this concrete surface. We'll see if it makes it look a little bit better. Gonna try and see if using RVT textures might add a little bit of a thing to it. We'll see. So I'm just trying to switch to a material that's using the exterior RVTs, runtime virtual textures, and let's take a look. See what kind of mess this is going to create. And right off the bat, it's very strong. So let me try and adjust it. All right, so that's a little bit better. And now the main thing is sculpting the terrain, which it's gonna bring me back out of this level, but that's fine. Hey, extras. Hopefully, hopefully you didn't, uh, because I just noticed your comment. Thank you so much. This game is called On Your Own, just like the name of the stream. It's a first-person action adventure video game, single player, storyline driven. So this is one of the areas in the world that you're gonna end up getting in touch with some of the friendly NPCs that are being held up here, and you're gonna be getting some of the missions from here. But again, this depends on this is I think you know it's a little bit further in the story, but yeah, this is kind of how the world looks at the moment. If I can, the mouse wheel doesn't seem to be working anymore. So, um, so yeah, there's this line here is basically how you enter the world is through uh, a plane that's currently crashing. So you can jump out of the plane in different locations around the map, and depending on the location that you jump, you're gonna start off with different missions. So in the end, they're all gonna converge into to the same point, but you're gonna start depending on where you jump, they're gonna be different missions at the beginning. And so yeah, it's kind of your basic, if you think of like Far Cry or some of the other like Days Gone kind of idea of, there's like a town area with some, livable uh, apartment buildings and houses. There's like an industrial area, of course. There's like a little bit of a mobile home here. So, so yeah, if something that I've shown earlier, because once you're going to be in this area of the world, you're going to be getting some kind of localized missions to assist the NPCs. And earlier I was showing this mechanic with the little forklift, which is kind of fun. But yeah, if you want to see anything else as far as mechanics go, let me know. Right now I was working on building this area around this facility because there's like a bunch of packages that I have and that I've kind of scavenging things out of each one of them and putting them together into what I think I like. But yeah, that was it in a nutshell. Let me know if you have any other questions. All right, so let's see if we can benefit from the RVTs a little bit more around here. That's what I'm kind of curious to see if that can be done. Oh, come on, really? Huh, Unreal Engine. Sometimes it's unreal. And that was interesting because that was like the first crash I got all day. Um, and it wasn't even on something complex, I was just sculpting terrain. But, go figure. And that's why I like to save often. Even though, like I said, first crash in like 6 hours of using Unreal today. And um, again, on something that I actually, honestly, I haven't had it crash in sculpting terrain. I can't remember when it was the last time that it crashed sculpting terrain. Sometimes it crashed when you sculpt the terrain and then you undo. And again, with this error that nobody really would probably be able to tell you what that is. But um, yeah, Atlantic I hate it when it happens. I say my game will have yeah, like OCD exactly. And that's that's exactly it. It's come on, get away. But it does happen. And I mean, aside all that, that main level of mine is in terms of number of actors, I think it's pretty big. So, I don't really have the strongest rigs out there, but I'm not sure if that contributes to anything. Anyways, but I haven't thought about exiting and restarting the engine. That's a good thought to exit and restart the engine every now and again. Because I've been like I just especially in the weekends and nowadays, as you can see, there's no way I'm going outside, light rain, snow. It's just like it looks pretty bad. But in days like this, I just keep it running. I don't know, like 10 hours easy. Yeah, and I haven't noticed anything serious when it comes to memory leaks. At least when I look at it, I don't keep an eye on it very constantly. But yeah, I can see that happening as well. And I do have some. I'm not sure if this would also be causing it. I think one of the uh, I've actually never seen this before. I'll show you. This kind of temp. Um, what's this temp about? Luckily, there's not that many, but I'm not entirely sure what this temp is. Why is this being loaded out of temp? And again, another thing to do is clear the saved directory because that can that can blow out of in size extremely easy. And I'll show you what that is. Come on. So yeah, basically it's this save directory here. So this one in intermediate, like this one got up to like 5 gigs, 5.5 gigs almost, and then intermediate as well. These are some directories that I try to clean up as often as I can. I believe derived data cache can also be deleted. That doesn't usually get too big, but so back to sculpting. Let's see if we manage to break it again. Oh, the temp directory seems to be for saving us instances for an asset. Oh, that's a good point. But I haven't seen it. Actually, I haven't looked to see if it lives in content. Yeah, there's nothing in content, so I'll have to do a little bit more digging into it. It's also a level for that it's still not fully there yet, so I need to kind of verify it. So yeah. All right. Well, unfortunately, none of these got saved. I'm not sure if it saved the change in this material. So let's see. We'll try and do the same thing again. Hopefully, it's not gonna have a fit like it did before. All right. So it looks like this. I haven't. I need to set this material back to being as a runtime virtual texture. All right. So this one here, and this is just you know me trying some things out. Might not be something that I'm gonna stick with, but I wanted to see how it would look. So let's make this blend with the environment, just like that. All right, so what I'm looking for in a blend is it's more like this. Of course, this one, this terrain here is quite because it kind of jumps from here to here like this. So that's why it's uh it's that abrupt, so to speak. There's no smoothing going on. It's very sharp. But I wanted to sculpt this. And first of all, I wanted to flatten all the area around it. So let me try doing that first for this area around here. And now let's actually try and sculpt it around around the kind of the curves. Curbs? Curbs, yeah. So let's see how high do I need to go. That's a little too much. Getting better. Yeah, there we go. So this is what I was talking when I meant to add a little bit of kind of dirt or something on the road. And this is all just um, through the terrain. It's not vertex paint or anything. It's just the terrain coming through. And I think on one end, what that can help with is I can paint the terrain. Let's try and paint some grass. And I can paint some grass around here. And what I'm hoping for, yeah, there you go. We get we get a little bit of grass coming through on this little edge. So yeah, that was something that I just wanted to try out real quick and see if it would work, how it would work. I can actually, I think I can sculpt it to come up a little bit higher. Not the other way around, sorry. Math. Yeah, so that way there's like a little bit more coming out right there. You know, there's some dirt around that area, kind of around here if I want to. You know, maybe a little bit in the middle. Oh, thank you so much, Atlantica. Well, you know, since I removed that road, I was thinking of what I can do to add some variety along this really uh, repetitive, basically a repetitive surface. So I think this could be part of it. I'm gonna get a little too picky with this, but I'm gonna try and do the same for this curb material and see if I can get some of that also coming through in here. Let me quickly save it. And cause see, there's like a little bit of a there's the transition. There's no real transition or as good as a transition here. So I wanted to see if I can get this one to to behave like the road. We'll see how that does. Let's take a quick quick try. I mean, not too bad. See if we can increase the blend distance. There we go. So that's what I was looking at. Just getting a little bit of that. Uh, see like that. You know, that's the problem with it is, and I'm not entirely sure how to do it, is they don't work so well on a vertical surface. So that's what I'm trying to stay away from a vertical surface as much as I can. Just get it to there. So yeah, there we go. It's a little bit of a blend with the dirt over here. That's the only thing. It's based, this side. I think the terrain might be a little bit higher than on this side. So I think it was a good attempt. I'm not sure if I'm very happy with it, to be honest. Um, I might try to add like just the road texture that I have for the regular roads because those come together pretty good and the runtime virtual texture does look nice but or it looks I think I've never tried doing it like this. Let me put it this way to have the terrain from underneath blend into like the road like this. I've had it on the road splines, but it's a little bit too much to try to control, especially when it comes to areas like these curves. And yeah, so that was a good attempt, I think. Let's try and get. I'm gonna try and add just a regular road mesh and see how that works as opposed to painting this. I mean, I'm not. I think it looks decent, but yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it adds that variety that I wanted to have. So let me try and find that road mesh. Let's see, where is it? Static mesh, and try and use that. We'll see how it turns out. Because with that, adding, controlling it with, that way, I can. Let me see if where is it? Can I find it? Can I find it? There you go. We can. I think this one is gonna work because it also has the. It already. I already have the mesh set up so that it's got the edges, kind of with the dirt, and it's using again reusing using and reusing the same texture as the one of these that go with the terrain dirt. So I think this might work a little bit better to our needs, you know. Yeah, I think that's going to work a little bit better. Hey Andre, welcome. Do you use occlusion culling for performance? So that is turned on by default in the engine. I believe it's a default setting, but to be honest, I'm not entirely sure if it how it works if it actually really works. it's kind of a little bit of a cloud for me when it comes to does it work or not. I use world partition, and that actually works really well for me. With world partition, you can set up grids. So depending on the asset sizes, you can set them up on different grids. And so that way you got a huge world, like in my case, with a ton of actors. And I plan on trimming that down a lot. But you're gonna have actors that are like big in size, like say, these smokestacks here. So these would be on a grid that are seen from pretty far away. But then small actors like these are going to be on a smaller on a grid that are rendered from up close. As far as occlusion culling, I'm really sorry. I actually I kind of took it for granted and I didn't really look at it to see if it behaves as I think it does. And um, but now that you mention it, I'm gonna take a look at it and see if I turn it off. What's uh, what changes basically, you know. Thank you so much for bringing it up. I wish I could have a better answer for you, but yeah, unfortunately I don't. All right, well, let's place some of this road setup, and as per usual, I'm going to be using my tool here. So there we go, and the mesh itself is going to be this one. And let's redo the rotation and the spacing. Is it 1400? I can't recall what the size of this mesh is. Maybe 1450. Let's see if it overlaps. I think that's pretty good. All right, let's adjust its placement here. And that's what's cool about this scatter tool, which I really like. That you can set this up and then just easily adjust it. There we go, and I need it to, it receives decals, it should. Oh, did I? Ha, did I replace it with the decals? Let's try and place this above ground, like that. And I also wanted to add the decals in here. There we go. Now we have some decals on the road and the road. All right, that's pretty cool. And I mean, a little bit of the dirt can come through, like especially for, I don't think it was suitable for like a really lengthy distance, so to speak. But for areas like this, I think it works out pretty good. And I might keep these meshes around, uh, maybe as a speed bump or something. Doesn't really work with the road texture. But yeah, that actually turns out quite okay. And I get to reuse um, the road texture or the road material as well. So uh, reusing things is good. There we go. Nice. Okay. So we got the entrance into this parking lot, this kind of filling station, and then into like the buildings slash offices on this other side. So I think that's gonna work out. I'm gonna need to finish off this little corner here, this back alley, but but yeah, I think it's coming together. All right, so yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. My cold is starting to get to me, as you can probably hear me. But yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope that was something interesting to watch, and I'll be back at it next next Saturday, and hopefully with some more updates. And I'll see you then. Let's see. Andre, do you scale the Pauli number of the assets with distance? If you mean like LODs, yes. Yeah. And I can quickly show you real quick here. Where was it? Mesh LOD coloration. Yeah. So as you can see, unfortunately, there's some that don't have LODs at the moment, so I'm planning to add them. But yeah, as you can see, most of these buildings have LODs. So I'm wondering, hopefully that's what you were asking. All right, Atlantica. Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend too. So yeah. Oh, glad that was it, Andre. No problem. My pleasure. Thank you so much for stopping by. Mulțumesc frumos. Uh, all right. Well, yeah, you guys have a great rest of your Sunday, and again, great week coming up, and I'll see you next week. All right, take care, everybody.